students from the. Oh, okay, thank you.
Just wanted to let
We're
you guys know
students of
recording.
Arizona State University, and as I told you, we have a course of sustainability and social responsibility project, which where we have an assignment for the assignment for the work. It's called Business for Good, and we found you, and we're very interested to tell about your business at our assignment. And I found your website and your description about your business and organization, Disability Inventions, Sezual. Please correct me if I'm spelling wrongly. The business about technologies for people with disables and inventing technology and devices. And we are very interested to tell about this. We would be glad if you can tell about yourself a bit. Then we can start with our questions.
Okay. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you all. I'm the founder of a company that invents technologies for disabled. The name originally goes like Sezual. Here it looks like. Sezu means hill, and Al means take. It's from Kazakh language. So we wanted this technology to be easy for using by people. That's why we called it like feel and just take it easy, like that. We started from 2017, because my friend Galamjan, he had a retina detached after going to sauna. He had a problem with his eye, right eye. He just woke up and got retina detached. So after that, we found a doctor who attached it, but the doctor said there might be other circumstances after which he might again lose vision on that eye. So we had to find some way to help him. That's why we started to create different types of technologies. So the first technology that we have done, we actually had several types, but here is the prototype that we made for totally blind people. It allows a person to navigate around, and a person sees up to 15 meters very clearly, like a bat. So you want to turn on, you just turn on this thing, and it goes like this. Then a blind person just makes here more comfortable for him. So it actually, these sounds, they are impulses. And if you look at the nature, such impulses are produced by bats, dolphins, spiders, a lot of insects, especially night insects. So with this device, we tested on a lot of people in Kazakhstan, also children from Azerbaijan and Turkey, they came and they tested it. They were able not only to navigate forward, but they were able to navigate backward, because as you know, the sound has the quality of diffusion and diffraction. So the sound goes around the person. That's why, and the sound can go through the objects. That's diffusion and diffraction. That's why with this device, our blind people, they were able not only to go forward, but also to go backward, and they will not fall down if there is, for example, a stairs there. Most surprised we were after we've seen one girl riding a bicycle. We have in Kazakhstan a girl. She doesn't have eyeballs. She lost her vision when she was a child, but she is able to ride a bicycle with this device. So that's one of the technologies that we created because we received an impulse from my friend. And I have another friend. His name is Kenjigu Seijan. He's totally blind person, and he lost his vision like also in childhood, and he is also testing all these technologies. So I can show you actually another one. This is the Braille tutoring device. It's also called Sezual. You see here our emblem, and it allows a person, when a person pushes the button first time, there are Braille dots here. When a person pushes the button first time, like it gives the letter, for example, A. When he pushes the button second time, it gives the location of that letter. Like, for example, first, the location of the dot, Braille dot. Like this device is not charged, because today I was in a library here in New York, and I gave several devices like for free, like a donation to the library, and they were charged. So I left just a couple of devices that are not charged. But I'm explaining to you how does it work and why is it very effective. Because when a teacher for visually impaired works with blind children, he has to uh, take a finger of a child and put on such dot. But because there's no interaction, like this device is interactive. You just push, and there is a dynamic here. It gives you the sound. So a person, and also we have earphones port, and it's easy to charge it. Like it will work 1 week after you charge it once. So that's why the speed of learning with this device is very fast. Instead of 4 years with teacher, a blind child learns in 1 month with this device. So if you have like questions, you can just ask questions. But the same strategy we took on the second device, which is musical device. This device, when you push each button, it will give you the note and tones, high, low tones, etc. And we called it Stevie. If you see Stevie, because Stevie Wonder, it's a blind, very famous singer. Yeah, everybody knows Stevie Wonder. So Stevie Wonder had a good friendship with Steve Jobs, and he asked his friend to create such a phone that will allow blind people to navigate easily, to navigate instinctively. So to navigate naturally. That's why actually Steve Jobs created iPhone. So right now, even right now, when I talk, for example, with my friend Kenjigu Seijan, he right now he's a sportsman. He's a deputy in the parliament of Kazakhstan. He's an ombudsman for the rights of disabilities, but he still uses iPhone because he explains that it's the best device for navigation. It's easy to use. It's perfect for the blind. So that's why he doesn't change to any other brands. So, well, in short about this device, do you want me to continue?
Yeah, it's very interesting. Yeah, we would thank you very much for introducing your products, and yeah, we would be glad to know everything all about your products. Briefly, would like to have some about information about your company and you. Yeah, our group has several questions. Would be glad, to ask about this. Puni, can you please start?
Sure. Yeah. So
So,
I was, thank you, Askat. Nurbek, great to meet you. I think the products you shared with us are terrific. I have a child with a disability, so anytime there's products that help make kids and people's lives easier, um, they're especially close to our heart. So some of the you already I think you already talked to us about what inspired you to start your company and how it all began, but um, is there a personal moment or experience that really motivated you to launch your business that has like such a big social and environmental impact?
well, if we talk about personal, I actually when I studied in university, I've seen a lot of students with disabilities because I play basketball since the third grade of high school, and I've seen students who wanted to play basketball and they actually played, and it was really amazing to see how they try to dunk, because when they are going on the wheelchairs and they try to jump, it's at that moment I thought, what can we create? What can we invent? Mm, Comfortable, easy, cheap, very natural, uh, to help those students to play not on the wheelchairs, but to play like freely, like with your body. Uh, so I think the first idea came when I was a student, because I've seen a lot of students with white canes with special things on their ear to hear, on the wheelchairs, with autism syndrome and other things. And I was thinking, um, there are so many smart people on this planet, and many of them spend their time to create artificial intelligence, to create machine learning, to create something like going to Mars, right? And at the same time, uh, the actual problems are around us. It's not a problem to go to Mars, for example, right? Because we can go there later on. We always have time to do that. But it's a problem when a person with whom you study at the university see every day play basketball. Uh, when you see that he's struggling to play, and he wants to be more confident, faster, better, then it makes you to think about creating a team of scientists, of inventors, and because alone it's not possible to do all this job.
Gotcha. Thanks for sharing. I appreciate that insight. With that, I'll turn it over to Kusum. Kusum had a couple of questions, around your business. So go ahead, Kusum.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, Nurbek. So I just wanted to know what has been the toughest challenge that you faced and your team has faced while developing this device. So if you can put all top three challenges that you faced.
Oh, top three challenges. Well, the first challenge was to persuade uh, people with disabilities to test these devices, because at first we saw the problem. For example, this device was created during the coronavirus, the pandemic, because blind children, they were not able to study at home, while usual children, they just studied on computer. So we received an official letter from the school number 10 in our country, in Kazakhstan, Astana, and she asked us to create something to help blind children to learn from home. And we tested different types of devices and came up with a simple keyboard. This is a keyboard with braille
Purity.
dots on each button, and then it has uh, dynamic to hear, and that's why when we came up with this idea, we understood that it's not only easy to learn. It's also gives not only blind children, but there are children who, besides blindness, they have also other problems with health, like deafness, etc., etc. Right? And still, all those children were able. That's why we started to do that. And the challenge, answering your question, the challenge was to persuade blind children to test it. But when actually they took it, they didn't understand that it's a device. They thought it's a toy, because some children, they were born blind. They didn't see this world. They just took it and spent all day with this device. And we were happy to see that in 1 week they learned English. After 1 week they learned Kazakh alphabet. After another week they learn Russian alphabet. So in 1 month they learn 3 alphabets. Plus they learned math science, because these 3 rows are alphabet, then special signs like dot, comma, etc., and then numbers. So a child learns really fast, because, as you understand, a blind child, he doesn't have to do much in this life. He is free all day. That's why we just gave him this toy. We call it Sezual Braille, and he played it and he learned amazingly fast. And second challenge is unreadiness of our society, because this device goes well. We already provided 6 regions in our home country, in Kazakhstan, in our motherland, and people in libraries and schools already use it. But this device, the biolocator, we call it biolocator, but here in US, for example, I've been in several organizations like Andrew Haskell Library. They just call it Sezual navigation. It's for navigation. It's for walking around by yourself without Y-cane, without dock. This device is people are not ready yet, because when I explain how does it work, people say we can't believe that it does work. That's why I show them this book. Like, we wrote a book and we put it on Amazon, and now like it's already translated into 7 languages. And in this book, as you see, molecular coding, we explain in this book how neuroplasticity of our brain allows us to be like animals. Because when we are born, we have a better neuroplasticity of the brain. And when we are getting older, it's worsen and worsen. And we tried to explain, and some people they are reading this book, they actually do understand why this device works, and together it's easier for us to explain. And hopefully, like when the telephone with touchpad was invented, it was not accepted, because iPhone is not the first one who invented it. Steve Jobs just used this idea, right? There were several companies before him, but the world, the society was not ready yet for such technology. They wanted phones with buttons. They get used to phones with buttons. And right now, people are used to white canes, to dogs, guide dogs, etc. They are not understanding that this is the future. This is the device that will allow people not only to ride a bicycle. There will be, I've been in Washington and I've met with the Paralympic, Olympic, and other organizations. Special Olympics, yes. And the founder of Special Olympics, he said, well, with this device, we can create new types of sports. For example, have you seen blind people playing football or basketball? You haven't seen. Have you seen have you seen firemen, blind firemen, just doing better job than ordinary firemen? Why a blind fireman is better with this device? Because for the blind, it's no matter is it night or day first. For a blind, it's no matter if it's a mist or fog or whatever it is. Also, this device has diffusion and diffraction. It allows a blind person to see forward and to see backward. So that's why if there is a earthquake, for example, and people are under stones, under the construction, right? It allows to find people because a sound has effect of going through the objects also. And the sound goes faster. So with this device, we can have super firefighters, super sportsmen, also bodyguards, also people who protect our motherlands, right? Our homeland, like Kazakhstan, US, and other countries. So so the second challenge is unreadiness of our society. Even though we try to write books, scientific books, we actually wrote 2 articles. We received impact factor Q1 on that articles, and we explained that this device is revolutionary. But still, when I go to, for example, there is a Helen Keller Center here in New York. There is a Visions for the Blind in New York. I every day talk to these people. I talk to teachers for the blind. I show them, and it's much easier for them to understand how musical device works, because you just touch it. That's it. You do not have to understand the neuroplasticity of the brain. Or I have this device. It's sound beacon in our home country. In several banks, we already installed it, and it allows people to navigate in bank to get credit, debit, or like take a loan, etc. I showed them, for example, this technology. This is a machine that produces, like, when you go, for example, to United Arab Emirates, you sign some documents, right? When you go somewhere abroad. But a blind person, how does he sign a document? So we created this prototype, and how does it work? It produces the thing which we call the signature, this thing, right? So when this signature is produced, a blind person just repeats in any country of the world. Maybe I'm not explaining very well, but I just try to do it fast. But we have a lot of technologies, over 300, and I didn't bring all of them to US. I brought just like 5 or 6. But second challenge, as I told, is not readiness of society. And the third challenge, I think it's the biggest challenge. It's not easy to explain people that we are not invented for disabled. We are invented for everybody, because we have a good medicine right now, medical care. People live long, and every person on this planet who lives long will have problems with vision, hearing, locomotor disabilities, etc. And when I meet with some deputies, ministers, prime ministers, or like founders of different companies, they say, we don't need this. This is for disabled. I don't know any disabled. I've seen them in a movie. I've seen them once in my life. Actually, the problem is that they don't see disabled. In Kazakhstan, according to the World Bank statistics, we have 160,000 blind and visually impaired. And out of them, 9,000 children. And we have only 6 schools in Kazakhstan for their children, and only 2 of them are big enough. Like in Karaganda, I'm from Karaganda. It's a city. They have only 75 places in that school. 75 places. And in our capital city, Astana, we don't have a school for the blind. No school for the blind. They have only 1 class in school number 10. They have a small class about for 10 students, I think, 10 pupils. And that's why students from Astana, they go to Karaganda and parents who have blind children, they try to put their children over there to learn at least Braille. But there are no places, 75 places. It's not enough. 9,000 children. So the problem is that our problem is that it's not easy to raise funds for such projects, because people think it doesn't bother me. I am totally healthy, and I will be healthy because I go abroad. I go, like, if a person has money, he goes abroad and makes full checkup. If a person doesn't have money, he stays in the country, but he's still not worrying about disabled. And that's
Nurbek,
why,
if it's okay, I kind of like to jump in and just, we're talking about struggles and and some of the things you're kind of the day-to-day problem solving. I wanted to punt it to Tamir because he had some questions around that, and kind of like how you said about not having enough places for kids for blind kids to go study. But on the business end of it, I know Tamir had some questions just around like some of your logistical struggles, and so I'll just kind of punt it to him to see if he wanted to ask Tamir.
Yes, I'm sure throughout your journey, there are the ups and downs, and, especially with some of the blockers that you've mentioned, what is an important aspect that is needed in order to run your business? And, have you been able to reach your short-term goals since you've started? And, what are your plans for the future?
well, our plans for the future is to expand, is to scale and bring the team to each continent. For example, we have a headquarter in Kazakhstan, in Astana, and right now I'm in New York because we have couple developers here in US, and my goal is to negotiate with specialized organizations such as libraries, schools, banks, and other organizations where blind people are visiting often. So the goal is to expand. The plan is to cover as much continents, as much countries as we can. Right now, we opened a branch in Texas, in Austin, and in Austin we have 2 developers, 2 scientists, and in New York we have 2 scientists. So right now our goal is to set up production here. Like my friend and partner Galamjan, right now he's in China, and he is negotiating with Chinese plants. We have these devices are produced on different plants in Guangzhou. Different spare parts are produced on different plants. So his job is to negotiate the production at least 2,000 devices, not through Kazakhstan as we did previously, but from this year we want to go straight to US. And my job is to negotiate the contracts, because we need to make sure that when these 2,000 devices come, we have signed contract with those who are willing and who can accept these devices and help those who are in need. the blind, visually impaired. And the job, why I was in Washington first, why there were meetings with Department of Labor, with different government organizations, with different specialized organizations like WinRock and others. That's because there is a need to negotiate the training first, because this device, the BioLocker, is not possible to just give it, but like this device is possible to give and the person just studies. It's easy.
So there's regulatory barriers.
Yeah, and this device, if we teach a person to navigate, then a person may be too confident. He may go straight on the street, and this device doesn't allow a blind person without eyeballs, with atrophy of eye nerve. It doesn't allow a person to see the colors of the, like, how do you call it? Traffic color, because usually it's yellow, red, and green. If he doesn't see it, he will just go.
Yeah.
So he might get into car crash. So there are a lot of regulations that there is a need for me to negotiate, to meet with people, to solve. And then after, for example, today Galamjan told me that he already sent about 2,000 devices here. So I need to be ready to accept them. That's why I've talked to the library, I've talked to the specialist organizations, so that to understand how much do they need. Like they say, well, we want to test it, like give us about 50 devices. After we make a pilot, for example, for a month, and we receive feedback from blind Americans who really loved it. For example, the teachers from organization Vision for the Blind in New York, they already sent me an email saying that we really appreciate this device because it's easy, it's long-lasting, the battery, it's easy to understand, and it gives a very fast learning. And the most thing that they like is that I told them we produce like we have in Kazakh language, because we are from Kazakhstan. We have this in English language, we have in Russian, and we've met with the Academy of Science of China. They asked us to adapt to Chinese. We've met with different sheikh from Dubai. They asked to adapt to Arabic because blind Muslims, they want to read Quran. Also, I visited, my friends invited me to visit churches here in America. And I've talked to people in churches, and they told me, hey, we have a special Bible in New York, in New York Library, which is written in ancient language. Can you adapt your device to that language? Because blind Christians, they want to read that Bible. And I already forwarded that request to my team, and we already worked that, because we believe that every person has the right to read the books in his own language. It doesn't matter if it. Yeah,
it's very interesting to see the passion you have in the business. So tell me, like, throughout this journey, what has been the highest point? You know, what are you most proud of?
Well, I'm most proud of first of all the feeling that we had when these children from Georgia, Turkey, Azerbaijan came to Kazakhstan, to our capital Astana, and we gave them our devices. Like they did not have any prejudice. They did not ask, does it work or doesn't it work, how it works? Because when a blind adult wants to use, for example, this device, we have to explain. We have to give him this book. We have to spend time. But a child just put on here, like a medallion and start walk. And like 10 minutes, it was really, really amazing. Like in 10 minutes, they started to walk very fast, even run. So
Wow.
we were afraid that they will just break this prototype. And that was the moment that we are proud, because we thought that it's hard to persuade people to use this device, because usually we work with adults. But we understood that if a person is clean, doesn't have any thoughts, just you give him and he does it, then it's absolutely beautiful. What else?
That's Nurbek, if it's okay, I'm gonna for posterity a time as well. So I'm just gonna jump in. Our team member Cam was gonna talk about expansion to the US, but thank you. Before we could ask you, you kind of elaborated on that. Tamir, I hope it's okay. I jumped in.
Yep.
Hopefully you were able to ask your questions. And I'll turn it over to Oscar, unless Cam, if you wanted to ask anything else regarding the US, but I know that Mr. Nurbek touched on the libraries, the churches, and the different organizations. Cam, did you have anything else before we move on?
Yeah, maybe just one. Yeah, I know you mentioned in your intro message to the group too how you work with schools, libraries back home in Kazakhstan. I guess what's the biggest difference between Kazakhstan and the US that you've encountered that impacts your work?
Well, the procedure, I would say the procedure, because in Kazakhstan, it was I was staying in Aktau. I live right now near the Caspian Sea, and I was looking for schools to provide me a letter to um, attract funds for producing of these devices. And in Kazakhstan, it was a little bit easier because I just came to school. I asked, can I talk to the director? And the director appeared. So I showed him this device. The director asked a teacher for visually impaired to test it. It took like 1 hour to test with a blind child. And then when they saw that it's effective and they want it, they just gave me a letter. In US, when I go somewhere and I just knock at the door of the organization, it usually I have an answer like, you should make an appointment. And the appointment might take like the teacher for visually impaired may be very busy. It might take like 2 weeks, 3 weeks to wait for him just for appointment, and there is no guarantee that he will actually test it. He will actually like it. And for example, I've been here for a month already, traveling to Washington, other states, New York, and it's not as easy and fast because the procedures are longer. Yeah, but still, it's good because maybe it should be like that. I'm not sure because I'm not. I never worked in government companies. I always been doing some startups, some invention stuff, and all my friends, they're inventors, scientists. That's why for us, it's very essential to do fast because each half a year, every friend has a new idea. And when you have a new idea, you don't want to spend too much time on the previous idea. That's why you can jump to a new idea. And for example, if the previous was not put into the market and doesn't bring happiness to people, doesn't bring them possibilities to live fully, to, for example, to learn languages, to learn music, to navigate around, to visit banks and other organizations, right? or to put a signature, then you might lose interest in that because you are inventor, and you might put it aside and do something for ecology or do some spaceships for Mars, and then maybe this is more in demand on the planet, right? Maybe, who knows? Because we have a lot of people who have disabilities. But if a person who is a scientist put this aside, then concentrate on something on spaceships, for example, for Mars, then this device will not go to the market. I have a lot of friends who have over 100 inventions, and from different countries, not only from Kazakhstan and US, from different countries. And when I ask which of them you've brought to the market, which of them you, because some of them are really revolutionary. And in my opinion, if that inventions were brought, then our world already would be different. Right now would be different. We just a lot of people don't even know. Like one of my friends created a technology that allows to stop tornado, to move tornado to another direction. Another friend created a technology that uh, allows a woman to give a birth to child without, how to say, in Russian it's matka, and in English it's without special organ that women have, like or if they have pathology or infantile this organ, like, and my friend created this technology, and women will be able to give birth without that organ. So there are so many things that can be like can be right now in our real life, but it's just the processes. Like as I said, it's not possible to go anywhere in US without appointment. And if I have only 1 month, if I came from Kazakhstan and I want after US go to France and then to Japan and then to Australia and then present it there, because I want to see where it will be accepted faster, which country will accept it faster, where we can start production faster, because it doesn't matter for us where to produce. Of course, we started from Kazakhstan. These inventions are already on the market of Kazakhstan. But after that, it doesn't matter for us where to produce second, because we want all countries to have that. And we don't want to spend all our life just on inventions for disabled, because we have technologies for ecology, we have technologies for construction, for like a lot of different spheres.
You've
Nurbek,
had a lot
thanks
of
for
changes in your business, and it seems like it's really hard to achieve something highest in the business to make disabled life easier. But what advice would you give to the people who wants to do the business in this social enterprise, who has some ideas and inventions, but they cannot implement them, and they want to do this business, but they don't know where to start. And looking back to your business experience in the past, what would you change if you would start it from the beginning, just to make it easier, shorter, and maybe better?
First of all, I would say to myself, do not concentrate on one thing. Try to help everyone, because you never know which invention would go faster. I have friends who create underwater drones. I have friends who create drones that fly in the air. Like as I said, a friend who created a technology for stopping the tornado, for changing the direction, for giving birth, women who cannot give birth to children, but there is a technology that will allow such women to give birth. And we have a technology that allows to get rid of scoliosis. When we have a problem with osteochondrosis, scoliosis, etc., with the spinal cord, we have a technology that will get rid from all of it. And we already tested it in water. That's why we opened actually a office in Texas, because we want in the ocean to test the technologies that we created for water, for the ocean. So I would tell myself, don't concentrate only on the things that you love. For example, I wanted to help my friend Galamjan and Kenjigul, and I was concentrating on the technologies for the disabled. But you never know. Which one will go faster, and it's better to collaborate with everyone. We do not. If you are, for example, electrical engineer, do not do just only one field. Be broader. I know that in US, in colleges, they try to concentrate very narrowly. Like if you're artificial intelligence scientist, then you should be very smart in that area. For some people, it's good, but concerning myself or those whom I give advice, I would say go broader, because you never know which area will give you more results. So and collaborate more, because I'm grateful to my team. Like Dalet Maximov, he wrote to me on LinkedIn saying, "Hey, there is a professor who proved that a person can do echolocation," and he sent an article of Dr. Thaler from Great Britain. And we understood that we should write an article too, because she explained that with echolocation, a person can navigate around, but she doesn't have the actual technology. We do have a technology, and we have proved it to our government. We have made tests for the Department of Labor. Our government provided several testers from different regions of our country, from Kazakhstan, and all of them were blind. And we proved that a blind person with this device can find a way from any labyrinth, from any place. Like he can sit from a cinema, in a cinema from one chair, get out of the cinema, find another way, and find a chair where he sat. So that's why concerning the advices, I would say just help all your friends. Because if you are an engineer, most probably all of your friends are inventors, scientists, inventors, IT specialists. That means that you raise by lifting others, because you think that your project is the best because if you invented, for example, this device, you think it's the best. Well, it might be good, but this is good only for very small group of people, because how many blind people are on the planet? Around 300 million, I think, like as far as I saw on Google. But how many other people like on the planet? There are a lot of other problems like autism, cerebral palsy, deaf, locomotor disabilities, etc. So go broader. Also, a lot of people ask us, for example, why this device is useful. don't concentrate. This is just advice for those people who are willing to choose their path. Don't concentrate narrowly, because this device will help not only blind, but also blind and like with other diseases. I mean, so
Well, Mr. Nurbek, I really appreciate it. We realize it's late in New York. It was really fascinating learning about your company, all your inventions. Thank you so much for sharing your journey with us today. And again, I think from a parent with a child with a disability, it's great that you're doing such good things, and you're able to turn other people, some of the challenges that other people are having, and you and your company are doing something for good. And I think what really resonated with all of us is like you raised by lifting other people up. So thanks for making such a big and such a good difference in the world. We really appreciate that. But I'll open it up to like the group here before we jump off and take up any much more of your time. I don't know if anyone has any parting thoughts, but again, from a father to a child with some challenges, keep on doing the good work, sir. I think that's what helps. I for one really appreciate that.
Thank you very much,
no,
Nurbek. Thanks for coming today. It was really excited to hear about your business, and we really wish your big success in your challenges and your trip, your journey in your business. And it's something very, very important to our world to make it better for disables, and it's really business for good. Thank you very much for coming today, and good luck.
thank you, guys. It's a pleasure to meet all of you. It's a pleasure to be with Arizona State University. I wish you a great success, and if you do have any other questions in the future, just let me know, and I'll forward also to my team. And if you have any like problems, like I mean, any idea, like anything to solve, let us know, because we're a team of inventors and we would like also to tackle that problem. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.